Even now, when I mention Srebrenica, my heart trembles in my chest and I slowly become sadder and sadder. I was born in a village in the municipality of Srebrenica, and there I have experienced a childhood that was both good and bad. As a little girl, I had the chance to hear adults whisper about the war that was inevitable, and I could sense fear in the air, but I could not understand that fear. I did not know what a war was. I was just a playful child who innocently believed in goodness of all people, who enjoyed children's games and used to play and dream about a future that is bright. Unfortunately, the year 1992 has brought to me its horrid awakening call. I was only 9 years old. That year, everyone began to talk about the war that now seemed imminent. On the street of Srebrenica, I began to notice refugees, people who were arriving with their families, homeless, without food, water, or warm clothing. Then I understood what the war was. A regular daily shelling of Srebrenica and its surrounding villages began soon after that. Shootings and killings became my reality, my world. A single day has not passed without someone being injured or killed. The days passed and we lived in the hope that the shooting will stop, that the war will soon be over, and that we will continue to live as we used to. But days have passed in vain and they brought nothing better. 11th of July 1995 was the worst and hardest day of my life. That was the day my childhood had ended forever. On that unforgettable July the 11th, I was forever separated from my dad, my beloved Babo as we used to call him. I will never forget the words he said to us when he saw us that day. Srebrenica falls, he said. Srebrenica falls. It has been decided that women with children had to go to Potocari, the UN-protected area, while men had to go through the woods towards the free territory of Tuzla. As we were parting from my dad, his last words were, "Children, listen to your mother. Take care of yourself and don't worry about me. Soon we will see each other." He kissed us as the tears raced from his sad eyes. He hugged us warmly and wished us luck. All in tears and very sad, we parted from our Babo and we followed a group of people to Potocari. We arrived at Potocari at about 12 noon. It was a horrible sight. Thousands of women, children and elderly were there. There was a Dutch UN battalion that was supposed to provide a protection to people of Srebrenica. That terrible night from 11th to 12th of July 1995 we spent in Potocari on the trailer of a truck. It was very terrifying. The whole night we could hear the screams of women and children. "Don't let them take me, Mum. I do not want to go. Let me go. Stay with me." The horrid night has passed and a new day dawned. We all got up and sat down confused, not knowing what will happen to us. Hungry, thirsty, and exhausted, we were sitting helplessly as we watched some unfamiliar men with guns roam amongst the unarmed people of Srebrenica. The Chetniks, I heard the rumor, it was true. We all stopped breathing, we forgot the hunger and thirst. The Chetniks. Around 10 o'clock, I saw an unfamiliar face of a man who arrived with his army to Potocari. The whisper spread quickly, that was Ratko Mladic. Pretending to be compassionate, he uttered, "Hello everyone, do not be afraid, nothing will happen to you, all of you will be evacuated to Tuzla." That was what he has promised us, but in fact they were all lies. His promises were false and dreadful. Many voices, all weeping and praying, asked him, "Last night my son, my brother, and my daughter were abducted and never appeared back." He claimed that he did not know anything about it. At about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the buses arrived in Potocari. We immediately rushed to them, but it was very difficult to reach them. 5 buses filled up very quickly, and my family and I went into the 6th bus. At that point, the Chetniks began to separate men from women. Women with children were able to enter the buses, and the men were separated on one side of the road. They were told to leave their belongings on the lawn, and then they were taken to a large nearby house. The bus has already started moving, and the last that we could see was a group of our men sitting on the ground with their hands on their heads, waiting for their fate to be decided. On our way to Kladan, the Chetniks stopped our bus. All numb, we waited. The two men, Chetniks, with guns, entered the bus and demanded money and gold from the people on the bus. We all silently emptied our pockets. After another hour of the bus ride, it stopped once again, and the driver has commanded us to go out and go to Kladan on foot. I lost the sense of time. I remember that we walked for some time. I do not know exactly how or when we met with our Bosnian army, but there we were welcomed, given food, drink, and housed. From that day on, we have no longer heard from our loved ones. Most of them were killed, and we did not even know where to look for their remains. Some of them disappeared, and we did not know their fate. We continue to live in a hope that we will meet again and live a happy life as we lived before. But in vain, the years passed on one after the other. In 2002, we were informed that the remains of my beloved father were found in a mass grave near Glogova. On the 11th of July 2003, we laid his remains in the Memorial Center in Potocari along with the other 534 victims of this horrific massacre. Rahmet to their souls. May their souls rest in peace.